Hey, it's Maisha, and welcome to 7 Minute Sourcing. It's been a while, but I wanted to come to you with today's topic of sourcing unplugged. Yes, that means we're going to take sourcing offline and explore a few hybrid solutions and also some very organic ways to source talent off the web. So, if you're primarily using LinkedIn for sourcing and you're looking for some ways to freshen up your search, definitely stay tuned. So, what differentiates the best talent sourcers from the rest? Got any ideas? Well, I think that the best talent sourcers put in the work, they understand the role of technology and use it to their advantage. They also challenge the status quo, they don't do things the way that everyone else does them. And finally, they embrace storytelling. So, in an effort to kind of go beyond the norm, I wanted to share with you some ideas for offline sourcing. And this is one of the quotes that inspired me. This is something that Jared Langens over at Paired Sourcing said in a recent article that was published by Lever. He said meeting people in person at events and conferences, meetups, etc., is a widely overlooked part of sourcing, but it can be incredibly effective. And I have to agree with Jer because my recruiting career goes way, way back before the days of LinkedIn, before the days of Twitter, even. Imagine that. So, let me share with you a couple of ideas that I had around taking your search offline. Now, I'm introducing 7 different ways to you, but I really am giving you a little bit of variety, right? Because you're at a different stage in your career, maybe, than I am. You're recruiting for a different industry. So, this is not to say that you need to use all 7 of these, but my hope is truly that you will find one idea and really commit to it for 2017 quarter one. Like, I really want to add this one offline sourcing tool to my repertoire. All right? So let's get into it. The first recommendation for taking your search offline actually comes through an online resource called Eventbrite. You can find them at eventbrite.com. Now, here's the Eventbrite landing page. And what I love about Eventbrite is that no matter where you are in the country, you can simply enter a category. Let's start with technology. And we can enter a city. I've entered Austin, Texas here. And then you can just search. You don't even have to log in or anything like that. But what you get is a really nice list, which you can sort by relevance or date, which is my preference. And you can just see what's coming up in the next month, the next 3 months, the next year. Now, this really cool search feature on the left will let you sort by category. So you can choose science and technology, you can choose business, you can even choose by the event type, which would be networking or a conference or seminar, and even by price. So you can choose to see only free events. Now, for instance, this event that's coming up, A Taste of JavaScript with Jeremy Schwartz tomorrow, that could be a great place to go for free if you're recruiting for JavaScript engineers. So think about Eventbrite and how you can work that into your natural online and offline sourcing strategy. The next site is meetup.com. And much like Eventbrite, it's that same premise. So here is the Meetup landing page. Again, very simple way to navigate. You type in your topic, technology. This time, let's enter Seattle, Washington, and let's just find some groups within 10 miles of Seattle that are kind of focused on tech. And here we can see you got a Docker group, you have a Seattle Tech interviews group. Like, how cool would it be for you to offer to speak at this meetup as a tech recruiter? Like, there's so many ideas that I've had just kind of scrolling through the pages of Meetup. So that's one thing that you could do is just reach out to the organizer. The organizers will always be here. You can always reach them directly and message them directly and just say, hey, would love to present, would love to bring some swag, would love to advertise a job. A lot of times they're very much open to it. So the next couple of ideas I've kind of compiled into one slide. And number 3 is university career centers. These are great places to go. I remember when I was recruiting for dietitians and we didn't have a strong pipeline in a certain state, and I went to all the universities in that area that had that major and asked, can I post this in your career center, your alumni career center? always eager to help. So university career centers definitely underutilized resource in your sourcing strategy. Number 4 would be co-working spaces. And I love co-working spaces, especially as a remote employee. It's nice to kind of spice it up, and you'd be surprised who you can meet there, even if you just go work there one afternoon. You can talk to the owner or the manager on duty and ask if you can post the job, ask what type of events are hosted there. Again, you can maybe even host a small get together, a meet and greet, whatever you can think of in terms of utilizing your local community's co-working space could be a potentially great way to find people and just get the word out, just to let them know that, hey, our company is in this area. If you have people who come through who are in this particular field, we'd love to talk with them. Can I leave some business cards here? Okay, that's a place where professionals will be in and out all day. Number 5 is kind of a fun one. When you think about just the very rich context of coffee shops in our generation and how they serve as really social gathering places, and you think about the bulletin boards in your local Starbucks or your local coffee shop, there's actually a site that I wanted to show you where you can find coffee shops in your area, right? There are more coffee shops just outside of Starbucks, right? So you can choose a city, maybe, I don't know, Dallas, Texas, and find a local coffee shop, a mom and pop. If it's near your headquarters, it's a great place to just pop in. Like I said, drop some business cards, see if you can post something on the bulletin board. So many different people congregate in coffee shops, and it's a really underutilized place to just kind of spread the word. Number 6 is churches and community centers. Now, this I think is a really cool untapped resource. So there is a church in Los Angeles called West Angeles Church. This is their website. And they have 22,000 members. So think about a church in a community where maybe you have an office in Los Angeles, 22,000 captive members. They have bulletins that go out every week for people that attend church there. There's going to be an announcement reel every week. It's a place where politicians go when they're campaigning because they're captive, active listeners in churches every week. So, this is something you would think about if you have roles in a local community and you really want to just get the word out, word of mouth. People that are there can share it with their friends and family. Something to think about. And it doesn't always have to be the large churches, but these mega churches with 20,000 members and probably even more at some of them, these could be really, really cool ways to tap into your local community and just share the word about the positions that you're hiring for, especially if you have a lot of repeat positions and you're always looking for accountants, you're always looking for marketing managers, etc. So let's check out number 7, which is volunteering as a way to take your sourcing strategy offline and meet some people in the streets who are doing really impactful things for their communities. I love the site Volunteer Match, and I'll take you to that site now. And here's the site. It's really easy to navigate. Again, the same kind of layout as Meetup. So you're using this kind of hybrid approach to find organizations online that may need your help and then taking your sourcing to the streets. And there's so many different approaches that you could take when you're using Volunteer Match to actually find professionals. And I'll let your imagination run wild, but I can say that these are really, really great organizations that you can think about, maybe even volunteering some of your skills and talents with. And it may expose you to certain elements or people, places that you could now advertise that were not really on your radar prior. And you're going to reach groups of people that maybe don't have profiles on LinkedIn, who don't post their resumes on Indeed, etc. So, kind of keeping a very diversified approach is making sure that you're touching people at all levels. And if you recruit entry level or mid level or even senior level people, you never know who you could find in some of these settings. And I want to leave you with this quote from the great Albert Einstein. He said, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." And I think that's really important as a sourcer to keep in mind. The problems that we have are evolving, and our solutions need to be evolving as well. Again, these are our 7 places that we hit up during our 7-minute sourcing. Feel free to take a screenshot, or you can download this actual presentation as a PDF if you go to my website, maishacannon.com. That's a wrap for me. Thank you for joining me on 7-minute sourcing, and I look forward to seeing you soon.